expensive. It's an AI concentration. The only difference is that I do not own any cats, and my kids are all and like play chess, which is also kind of playing this. So, next one. So this will be our agenda for today. Just advance to what we're doing right now, which is the timeline. And the next one is going to be the basic definitions that we need to understand to start with backend development. And then we guide you with setting up your computer to actually write some code. And finally, we'll be looking at a mini game challenge where you want to get like a code using a set of instructions.
So this is the timeline. So we'll spend like 30 minutes on theory.
Feedback, then it's a bit hard to understand. Do you want to?
Oh,
Oops. So maybe you guys can just talk closer to the computer.
sure. Yeah. So we're gonna spend like 30 minutes on theory, which is basically like learning what backend is. We're gonna do 10 minutes for like setup, so like installing all the dependencies that you need for this project. Then you're gonna learn, so we're gonna have like a guided intro for Flask, and then we're gonna code like a mini project, and we'll have like some Q&A with that as well. So now I'll go into the definitions.
Oh, okay. So we want to start by looking at what backend even means. In the context of like a website or like an app, the backend is the part that does all the computation. So, I mean, if you were to like log in into like your Gmail account and the sign up page shows up, when you click that button to actually sign in, the backend of a website is what handles the authentication. So that's what makes sure that it's actually you that's signing in and not someone else. The front end is just what you see on the website. So that's going to be like all the buttons and colors and the boxes and stuff. So the backend has no like specific like requirement on how it handles. I mean, the front end handles the data. It just cares about what's being done with that data.
So what is an API? Can anyone tell me?
Application programming.
Yeah, it's an application programming interface. So basically, it's one of the ways that the front end and the back end can communicate with each other. So as you can see, we have like the start of the process, which is like the client application, and it's going to send a request. That's the API request, which sends like the information that the user wants to send to the server, and the server is going to process that information and then send back a response with the process information from the user, and it's going to keep on going like in a cycle. So are APIs useful? Yeah, they're pretty useful actually. So for example, Gmail's login page uses an API to log in to your email. So using this image, for example, you could say that the client here is the browser, your browser that you're entering like your information into. And then you're sending a request to the API, which then takes that request. So if you're like logging in with like a password, it takes that password, it checks with the API server, and then it sends it back with a response saying that if it's correct, then it's going to let you in. If it's not correct, then it's going to lock you. It's going to like say it's incorrect. Please try again later. Something like that. So this is like the kind of the structure for what an API would look like. So you'll have an endpoint. We'll go into what an endpoint is in the next slide. We have an HTTP method like post. We'll have HTTP headers, and then we'll have like the body here, which is like kind of like the code aspect of it.
So I just want to add on that this is all the different parts of a request that you send to this endpoint here.
Mhm.
So you would when you use that request over that, you add data in this body and send that to the server. That way, the server actually gets like data about like anything you might want to send. Like going back to that authentication example again, this might say something like username, and then it might be a name, and then you have a password like column, and that would be the password that you just entered. That gets sent to the server through the endpoint on top, and then you get a response back.
So API endpoints. So basically, it's just a URL that a browser uses to request specific data. So the base URL would be HTTPS example.com, for example, and then the route for the endpoint would be /users. So this is the base URL, and then this is the route for the endpoint. And the endpoints help differentiate different requests.
And why that's important is you might have logged on the university website, which is UM-Dearborn.edu, but obviously we want one page to serve as the login page and like one page to like show the courses and things like that. So you have UM-Dearborn.edu/login, and when you pump that URL in, you go into the login page. And let's say you use something like the catalog, which has all the course descriptions, that takes you to a different page. So the route is really the part that tells you what you're looking for to the server. That's pretty important. So we just saw that an API is basically a URL that you send to the server, but that doesn't convey what you're trying to do. And the server might not understand what you're trying to do. You might want to get some data from a website, like have it show you the results of soccer match or something, or you might be wanting to send data to the server. And that again going back to the login example, you might want to like send data. So that's why we have 4 different methods that you can send along the request. The first one is get. Obviously, that's telling the server that here's this URL. Give me the data that you're supposed to give me when I use this like specific URL. And the second one is post, and that's the one that tells the server, okay, I'm using this API here, and I'm also going to send. I'm also going to send you like some data along with that URL. So process that and send me a response back. And the third one is put. Put is pretty like similar to post. Like it's telling the server that you want to modify some data that's already stored. Like let's say you want to change your password. You use put method, and that tells the server to not create like a new username, but instead like change your existing username like a different one. And does anyone want to guess what delete does? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's difficult, but that basically tells the server that okay, I'm going to send you some data. Use that to actually delete something from the server. Like maybe you want to close your Twitter account because it's not so. So you use a HTTP method with a delete specification, and you send that request in, and the server will be like, okay, this guy wants to delete something, so performs the right operation. Yeah.
What does that delete exactly? Your data or?
Again, that depends on the API that you're using.
Mhm.
Let's say twitter.com has like twitter.com/users or like user/your name.
Yeah.
If you use that specific API and you send delete request, obviously that's going to delete your like username.
Oh.
But let's say you wanted to delete a tweet, you obviously use a different URL. You use something like twitter.com/tweet/ like an ID for the tweet.
That would be really powerful if you could delete all these.
Yeah, I mean, maybe no one's tried it, but maybe if you just send a twitter.com with like a delete, it just deletes the entire website.
Oh, wow.
Someone should try it out. Let me know if it works.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's multiple different ways to like actually send your data to the server. I know I've been talking about the post and put and like delete and all that, but there's actually various ways where you can tell the server, I'm actually asking you to like do this specific. The first one is URL parameters, which is where you have a domain here, and then you have a route on a page, and then you specify in the URL itself, like some number or like an ID of some sort. That's going to say, give me the first page from that website, right? Obviously, you could use 2 or 3 or 4, and you get the corresponding like page from that blog.com website. This URL parameters are not used super often. You might be able to guess why. Like, I'm sure you don't want to like type your password into the URL like parameter. That's obviously not going to be safe. So it's used for like anything that needs like multiple pages of information. Like if you've ever used Amazon and you click on next page, it probably has like a number that goes up on each successive like, page that you view. Yeah, the other kind of way to like send data to a server is query parameters. Again, here you can see that it's similar to the URL parameters in the sense that you're modifying like the URL itself, like you have the domain and you have the person route, and then you have like something else. But what's important is that the query parameter is not part of the actual path. Instead, we use this weird like, syntax with an exclamation, question mark, and then you have post, which is the name of the parameter, and you give it a value of method. This I'm posting the setting. And you can specify multiple parameters by separating them with the and or ampersand sign. You just have to like use the specific syntax of like the name of the parameter and then like the value of that. This one more widely used method. All the methods we've seen so far modifying the URL itself to send data, and honestly, like I said earlier, that's not going to be the most effective for something like a password, like logging into something, because you have to type your password into the URL. So you have something called a request body. When we previously saw the different parts of like an API, HTTP request, we saw that one part with like a body that had like a couple of terms with like the name and the value, and this is basically what the request body is. It's invisible to the actual like URL. All if anyone's looking over your shoulder while like typing stuff in, all you're going to see is a regular URL, but behind the scenes, it's sending this thing called a JSON object, which specifies I'm telling you my username, which is Nathan, and I'm telling you a password, and my password is class is awesome. So yeah, this is probably the most widely used type of way to like send data to an API. And yeah, this if you had to choose, I would say use this over the others if you like had choice. So yeah, we just talked about sending data to the API and sending that to the server. The server itself will now respond after like looking at your request. So that's a couple of different codes that it might send back to you. If it begins with a 2 and it's like a three-digit number, that usually means that the request succeeded. So if you check the code that it sends back to you and it begins with 2, it probably means okay, you did something right. Whatever you wanted to do has been accomplished. Maybe you deleted twitter.com or something. So if it begins with a 3, that's more interesting, and it's also apparently like uncommon. That's saying, okay, yeah.
Can you go closer to the computer so people can-
Yeah, sure. So yeah, if it begins with a 3, that's slightly more uncommon, because that's saying, okay, I know that you want to use the specific URL for sending me something, but the people that write code for my website have changed that to do something else. So I'm just telling you that this is probably not what you want to do, and look at the different like URLs. Basically saying, I've changed something, and you probably weren't aware of it. And the third one is when it begins with a 5. That is when the server itself, while processing your request to like do something, encountered an error. If any of you use ChatGPT a lot, like I do, you probably noticed this one like dialogue over here that says, an error occurred. If this issue persists, contact us through our help center at help.openai.com. And this is an example of that last part where like the server itself like screwed something up, or maybe they like shut the server down, maybe they didn't want to like serve you or something. But yeah, so when that happens, you have like a 500 code. Okay, so I know that is a lot to take in. So we will have a break of 10 minutes. At the end of this, we will be moving on to actually like writing some code and like making your own like website and things like that. So yeah, enjoy this break. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask.
Yeah, let's take break till 6 o'clock.
Okay.
4 minutes.
Actually, not bad at that.
Huh?
Actually, not bad. Yeah.
4 minutes.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Huh?
Oh, let me do that.
Yeah, sure. What? Why did you just
It's University of Michigan. It's okay. I'll just. You have to be logged in for your university.
That's the fun part. Yep. I did not think these many people would show up. But that's awesome. Shams, will you participate in like the mini challenge?
The what?
Will
The
you
mini
participate in the mini challenge at the end?
I don't know if I will.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
I'll try. Try. Let's see.
I think it's gonna be easy. If I can solve it, anyone can solve it. If I can solve it, anybody can solve it. Yeah.
I think it's everything.
Okay. Let's take 2 more minutes.
Okay.
You have the link. No, I'm saying that like you have, you change the name, you have to give them whatever you have.
Oh.
Let's just make sure everybody's. First slide. Yeah.
First slide.
Oh,
Okay. If you didn't sign in, make sure to do that so we can track.
Yeah,
your
we'll leave
points.
this up for later.
Then we'll get started right after. Will the next meeting be here? We don't know yet. He gives us the room, we don't pick them. Of course. Yeah, we want it in the good room, they're like, it's booked. But the time and it's. Yeah, time is the same, 5:30 to 7, and next week will actually be our last one, so.
Oh,
Because the hackathon is coming up the
Oh,
week after, so, yeah.
can't wait to
No
go.
pressure on
This is
that.
prep for the hackathon. Oh, really?
Yeah, this is prep for the hackathon, if anybody didn't know.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
The hackathon will be super fun, so make sure you're signed up.
It's not mine.
If you have to, then you can do it. Like, what's the topic? There's cats on the website. Yeah, and if you're registered, you get in the hackathon. I didn't register, like, I have no idea. You should register after I don't know, I haven't like appointment ever. Sorry, this is my first year, I didn't know, it was single like. That's the way to get involved, you know, learn so much with your team. And it's like building a website or like specific. And you can it allows to like. If you have something that go into sport and or people talk about getting winners, but I really forget the value of I for beginners, especially if you invest in time like that. We have these workshops like preparation for them. You already have some skills from attending these workshops. So, right, Michelle, they become their beginner, right?
Definitely,
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah, right. You were a beginner the first year. Yeah, and it was really fun guys. I enjoyed it. And you didn't know how to code at all. I was really beginner. See? Yeah, I don't know either. So
It's also very.
yeah,
People.
Yeah. but if you don't register by tomorrow, we can't hear you.
Oof.
Yeah. So I know the deadline is October. Yeah,
Could you give us the dates one more time?
October 12th and 13th.
Okay, and the pre-hackathons?
That's going to be October 4th, and deadline is tomorrow for that. Yeah. Yeah. We're not. You're good, yeah. Yeah. It was fun. Okay, cool.
Are you ready to go into setup?
Yep.
Alright.
Okay, so to actually set up your computers to like program some Python, just go to this GitHub repo here.
Yeah, access the slides through the WhatsApp group. And, yeah.
And if you need any like help with like installation, please let me know.
Yep. Make sure you guys have Git and VS Code and everything installed.
Pretty sure the installation is some of those things as well.
Yeah, the installation should have those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Instructions.
Yeah.
Okay, raise your hand if you need help with that. With access and everything. Yeah, you can do it so that no, that way you might be the right place.
Okay, so
Yeah, here we go. So it's all the commands are in there.
Yeah, so you just follow all these installation instructions,
Yeah.
and that should pretty much the.
Depending on if you have Mac or Windows. I can help with Mac.
you have Mac, then
Yeah.
Yeah. I have used one. Oh, can you go to the WhatsApp group? Yeah, it's on there. The get that in my phone. Can you send it to me?
There's web WhatsApp.
Huh?
There's web WhatsApp.
There's one WhatsApp, you can log in through.
if you already have any things involved, don't run the command again. That's probably not gonna be fun.
You just gotta copy trust and KP and then that's it, you only go to the latest people.
Yeah,
You don't
what
need
is
to
it?
know.
Like .com. They're logged in there. Make sure you guys run the right commands between Mac and Windows.
Yep.
Oh, you're on GitHub, it's GIT.
What's to clone this?
Hmm?
Wants to clone this or?
You want the clone? You want us to clone the repo?
Yeah, once you
Yeah.
install.
Oh,
this-
sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Someone's waiting. So yeah, once you have it installed, you should go and clone the repo.
And I recommend using the specific command clone, otherwise it's gonna take like a long time.
Yeah, it'll take like 5 years.
No. Or 4 years.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm. Yeah, so open up your command prompt. And then, install it. Everybody has it set up already?
And everybody's calling the repo, clone it.
They already have the exponent.
Oh, you do that?
Yeah. They'll have to pull out. You have to install the.
You know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I install, no. Just type in git, from the website, to git bash. You know, on your, look it out. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, you already have it installed, so all you have to do is just.
Is that the right command? The depth thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Bash or do you?
Get bash.
Oh,
And then what you wanna do is, do you have the file building?
I think it's general.
So everybody
Could you
knows
do-
that if you do this, it's 2 dashes, not 1.
Could you give him access to the group chat?
Yeah, I did.
Huh?
I did space.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, but there's, yeah, you say. There you go, actually.
Yeah.
So, I don't see the slideshow though.
Oh, I'll send it again.
Here.
No.
What? Yeah, use git bash.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me do this. Do you have a gate bash?
Yeah.
So basically run the same command line here. Or where you want it to clone the repository.
Just do it there.
Yeah.
You probably just copy.
Yeah, you can just copy the phone.
On the previous thing. Yeah.
No, the Postman extension is called Postman, right? It's not the Postman.
No,
It's sign in, so go to search. You're not signing in, but that's, go to chest and.
Is this the manual?
Yeah. And it's 2 dashes, not one. Yeah. Space.
Right, space.
Yeah, space. And then depth equals 1, and then just copy the.
Okay.
Is your repo private?
It's not.
Oh, you didn't put the link. Yeah. So you need to put in this link.
You know, having that on your command. So this is your command, so know what you're gonna do, and you're gonna get installed.
And it should-
So you can just-
Sign in this week, it's not like big, that's all we get.
More efficient.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. And make it a little more.
Doing that. Just wait, make sure you just hold the documents and you have to, and why like this. Wait, look at that. Hi, yeah, so we already, what do we want, right? It has to be yes. So you have to click yes, you have to click yes, or else you won't. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Did you? Did you?
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
have
Okay,
this
cool.
there.
Says, yeah, this is Git, this is one way we like software to,
Probably because you only have one dash.
Oh, yeah, just do that. Oh, no, there's two dashes.
Is there only one on the actual plans?
I think so, I checked.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the Google, so you can.
Oh, it's just put two dashes instead of one.
So now,
So it should work after that. Work, after phone? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that should work.
then what? Like, basically.
This one, like, oh, Mac is. You can't go.
Wait, no. Not yet. It doesn't, I mean, one second. Okay, yeah.
Works.
You should. Wait.
Okay, thumbs up if you got it all set up. This is the-
Alright, so that's good.
Everybody's
Asking
on it.
also.
You're good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
That's just.
More help?
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, what did you run to, tools of the
Do
business?
you have a page?
Here, yes, no.
They got that?
Does it continue or?
You're math. And then.
Yeah, you got those?
You're good. Next we'll go into recall. So open your. So you're gonna type it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But yeah,
This is real bash.
that's a recall now.
Oh, shouldn't be there. I think you might have said. Just copy and paste like the slides, like the actual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just like, I think
Yeah.
the main thing is like the equal and then two actions, so that one and just a little.
Yeah, so I told Al, maybe she's like, okay, you're gonna record this, and I think they're gonna have like an additional form or something. You have to fill out. Flash, which is flash.
All the lab, and then the last one.
Yeah, I'll see if I have here, they get the.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was training, like, the problem is that they don't tell you inside them, so I don't know how they are right out there, so now they're like, I don't. So we're gonna try and get one, just wait, it's out of the training. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah. So 123, well, good job. And then.
What happened?
Yeah, I was having a.
Somebody had like,
Oh.
I don't know what happened. It's
Oh.
it's working now?
I think I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
Make sure, yeah, you guys should move on.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next slide now.
Wait,
Yeah,
has. Class backend demo. Got it. Next one.
You got it?
Yeah.
can we move on?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, next one, next one. No, it's done. Oh, no, next one. Oh, you already did, okay. So demo time? Yeah.
So. Oh, wait, actually, there's one more command.
Where?
Oh, yeah. Have all of you like ran these commands as well?
Yeah, I should probably try to run these commands as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's not recommended.
Hmm?
But there's no Git.
Okay, did you solve get back?
No Git.
Oh, yeah, you want to use Git back.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, then.
yeah, it was on the.
So,
You exit out.
Yeah, so.
You bash, and then you just run the.
Okay. Make sure you guys run these, open VS Code in the class back in general folder. So let's start there. And then just open the VS Code terminal.
Yes, let's go.
And then run this like. Okay. We need to open these commands right in here. Yeah, I can hear,
Yeah.
So, okay, that works.
yeah.
It worked?
Yeah.
Now I just gotta run VS Code and then go to the bash.
Yeah, let's do it together. What are the commands again?
So Python, dash n, Yeah.
Open your terminal.
you should probably do that.
Where should that be? Yes,
Yeah, open up VS Code inside the folder that we.
Yeah.
No,
And then open up the VS Code terminal afterwards.
yeah, so connecting to the virtual environment.
Yeah.
And now just type of. What are we doing, like,
Also, if you're using Windows, make sure you use command include this one, if you're using Windows.
Now you can see it in there. It's open.
You should probably get it set up. You should probably get it set up.
No people using this and stuff.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but you can show them like how to do it.
Yeah, okay, so, I mean,
You have to do the, yeah.
I am. Okay, so. Oh, dang it.
Here.
We have it. I literally cannot.
So click clone.
Yeah.
Clone.
Dash that equals one.
Yeah.
Yep. Space.
Yeah, space.
GitHub.com. No, HTTPS.
Code.
// GitHub.com.
Now what it is.
Yeah. GitHub.com/.
Justin, can I just do it?
Yeah, sure.
Fill it.
Chess in 10 Yeah. That's still.
You can just restart.
Main source is not there.
Open the folder. Oh, okay, we have this.
Oh, yeah. Again, for Windows, please use git bash instead of using regular, like.
Are you using git bash?
Use git bash.
Inside of the VS Code.
Or outside. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you go right here. So you get this, yeah, so just open the app, VS Code, and then try to run the friends. So just open that one.
Okay,
That-
yeah,
that
so
is-
let's just run those commands.
Yeah, try to do that now.
So your class.
Type in couple of commands.
Yeah.
Which directory were you on? Probably were in documents.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Okay, so use, yeah, open up Visual Studio Code, do you have that?
So.
That Visual Studio. Oh, you gotta install Visual Studio Code. So you gotta do this.
Well,
Oh, it's the features.
no, forget it. Yeah. Yeah.
My bad. So this should work.
Any help? Help? Yeah. I'm not responsible for doing it. That's your
Yeah, no, it's installed.
Okay, so like, we have like 30 minutes time, let's maximize that time. Someone opening, can you close the term, yeah. Close the term. Yeah. What's the next step, you guys? Let's move, we don't have too much time, you know?
So,
Okay, everybody, if you don't have these commands done, then we're just gonna move on. Okay? What is that? The green sign is nothing, ignore it.
yeah, that's just the prompt, that's fine.
Okay, what is this Windows thing? Oh,
That's for Windows.
Yeah, you can't use bin for.
Okay, if you have Windows, then did you do that second option?
Instead of the second option, just use this option
Oh, for the last one?
for the second.
Oh, for the second one.
Mhm.
For the second one, you
Yeah.
don't have bin, so you gotta use scripts to activate.
Who wants?
Yeah.
Okay. So now,
Oh, you know that. Oh, that might be why.
Why is the last file not found in bin on
Hmm?
Mac? On Mac,
Mhm.
it can't find the last file.
Did you make the motion?
Did you start with the first one?
Try running. Doesn't want that, that's just my unit. Oh, do you need the slides? Yeah.
Oh, wait.
You do?
Hmm?
He'll
Oh, yeah.
he'll walk through the.
So when you here, right?
So just.
So this makes it run on the 500. Cause you're the version of 500. DMV.
Last, nothing.
Are you guys setting up the last?
Yeah.
Closing is 3:30 to 4. Okay, it's half of there. 3, 4.
What are you doing?
This is 30 minutes. No, just have it like 3:45, right? 3:45 plus 10 minutes. 4:30.
Did you get clone into?
Yeah, but
You have two.
they.
You have two folders. What do you name?
No, this is 30 minutes at mine.
Yeah, yeah, do that.
Oh, okay, so it's like.
but,
Can we get it for Saturday?
yeah, that's why.
Or is that excessive?
So
Excessive.
try.
And it's $50. We're gonna have it to the. Oh my God, so this can be like that.
Wait, sorry, not doing all the cards, right?
I don't know, I think we might.
You will?
I don't think you can get that to be right card as well.
Yeah. Like.
You guys good? You know?
Oh, it's just, it's all on VS Code. Yeah. I didn't actually have.
Stop. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. You're good, just make sure to open up that folder and folder. Yeah.
What? Python installed?
So this.
I have Python installed. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it. It's just like, after
Yeah.
Run it and we'll be streaming.
Hello. That's good.
Okay.
you get.
I think.
Now-
Try daily, like.
That's all right.
I
Honestly, that's so good.
Groups that.
Hey, also, that's what it's-
You know.
Yeah, it's trying to.
But like.
I'm just trying to understand.
What is this? Why is it like?
I think it's really on the inside of the.
Oh,
You did though. Oh, okay.
Why?
Okay, how are you gonna find?
Not bad.
What's the next step? Let's keep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like walk through all the different parts of the. Okay. So.
Everybody pay attention, right? So we're
Okay.
at 8.5 right now, and it's going to show us what?
Right, yeah, so.
Okay, so we're on this main file, and just think of this is like boilerplate that you need to include with like every Flask application. You can just copy paste all of this. That isn't important. What's important is this part. So we discussed a lot about API endpoints and all that. And what this is doing is it's defining a route here. And it just says that there's nothing after the route. So obviously, in that case, we just have the domain name, which, I mean, if you're running it on your computer, that's going to be localhost port 5003 in this case. And so this is special syntax in Python, which basically says, here's this route at localhost 5003. And when someone visits that API endpoint, I want you to return HTML here. So that just says, this is some HTML in H1 tags. And Flask also lets you return like entire HTML pages instead of just one like tag by using this function called render template. So if you use this render template function, you can use index.html, which is over here. That just says I rendered a web page with my server, which is simple enough. So yeah, notice how the route here is different from the initial route. You can't define multiple like functions under the same route. So I just use something called page instead. So yeah, we could probably do a demo of this.
Thank you.
So
If you run main.py, that one's server. Good.
So when I click on this, I see this is some HTML, which is what is returned at the slash endpoint, this thing over here. Can anyone guess what I might get if I change this to page?
And user.
Yeah, so that's just gonna say I rendered a web page with my web server, which is right in over here. These are all of the get methods, which is basically saying give me some data back from this API endpoint. What obviously more important are the post requests, which is when you give data along with the API endpoint. The first one is this one, which is a path parameter. So this is saying for every page and then anything here, this defines a different API endpoint. So that's gonna look like page / anything you want here, like anything at all. Again, here I haven't really changed much. I'm just still returning that same template, but obviously you could do anything else you want with the path parameter here. So moving on, these are the query parameters, which is what we looked at earlier, that had the weird like question mark syntax. This is saying that this is a get method here. This methods equals get. And then this is saying get the argument called data. So if you were to send an API request that looked like send data : data equals hello. Can anyone guess what this would return to the page? Yeah. So that's because here we say that the name of the variable is data and the value of it is hello. So let's test this out on our browser. Hello. Okay. We could change this to bye. And now that would just say bye.
So this is how we use like query parameters. Obviously, you could do a lot more here in these regions. I'm just keeping it simple to see how you can actually utilize these things. We don't really have time to do database, but if you ever wanted to do like connect your application to a database, you could use this as boilerplate. This just sets up like a table and yeah. So I know we went through this super fast, so I'm gonna give you like a ton of hints for the actual challenge, which is over here. So the first task that I would like everyone to try attempt is to define an endpoint, which is a get method, and the route is /calculate. So I can already see the similarities between this one and the first one over here. Yeah, this one. So instead of send data, we might be using something like yeah, we'd be using something like calculate. And I wanted to take 2 query parameters instead of 1 this time, actually 3. So the first one is gonna be an add keyword. The second one's gonna be a number. The third one's also gonna be a number. So this endpoint is gonna calculate adding the first number with the second number. So if you were to pass an add /10/20, that would return 30 because 10 plus 20 is 30. And if it's possible, I'd also like for people to try to implement a subtract method, which is basically if you had 10 and 20, you'd have 10 minus 20, returning minus 10. So yeah, we do not have much time. So I will give you like 5 minutes to attempt this. All I can tell you is that you basically have to copy one of these existing routes and just change what happens inside the body of the function.
The route that you copy is on line 28 to 32, right? It's not like that one? That one?
No, this one.
How is that again? That one, that's not the same.
Yeah, if you don't specify that it's a get method, it's automatically assumed to be a get method.
But that's the one because that's like any, it's just going to any.
Oh, yeah.
It's the one below that.
But if you look down at the question prompt here,
Yeah.
we do not have that weird like syntax with question mark and stuff, right? It's all in the path itself.
Oh, it's.
Yep. So we use the path parameter, which is this one.
Okay, so lines 24 through 26, everybody, let's get to the point where we can access that and set up the class server. So let's get to, let's help everybody set up their class server and try like the basic function, main and stuff out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
So, okay, who needs help getting to the class server running on their local host? So just. Here.
Okay, you have that, when, you want like, internal, flat and, no, you should already have, S3, yeah, that's great. Activate AC and gets one. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is your.
So you need this class. Like, install.
The breaking, so, surprised. It's actually in the house. Okay, are you getting people to sign up?
Yeah, that's. Wow.
There's gonna be like, you want like.
Go to the turtle.
So there's gonna be carnival.
Never having swing dance.
So that-
They have
all of
kids.
it. So
Perfect.
the challenge is to define the role which I allow. But make sure.
What else? Technical workshops.
So just.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, there's lots of technical. Yeah, so, basically, we're trying to get them to run them, so they're gonna be raffle store. Tell them to hurry up, you don't have any. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I've never seen this, so I've never been doing that today, but.
And paste it right on.
They're not.
Yeah. So,
Sometimes even
So,
my.
you want to modify this, let's just start. Some slash. Yeah. Because.
Yeah.
You need to do it. But make sure to follow the. This is the one for after the local. Start here.
Some of the hackathons around here. Like,
Slash.
fun activities, like, more, so that they.
Operation. And then. I would basically make it work, your ads.
You can actually was like, you know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm like.
Okay.
Go back to round two, let's try to get.
Oh, yeah, she graduated.
Okay, I think you're all done.
So, has anyone attempted this?
Try to attempt the problem.
Help them out, but like, I don't know, you know everything that's going on. You can tell her everything.
Oh, cool.
Does it work? You want to use. Because the maybe it's just. Yeah, I should write it. Okay. So I know the path is your. Then try. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you know, that's not bad.
Yes.
So yeah, it was candidate and then like. I went on for the little. I thought that. Yeah.
Oh, wait, did you see, okay, you need to ask the PM, but do something in the situation. Well, then you know, I think it's just also like,
Yeah.
where to I know.
You follow like.
Yes, these are.
I think someone called out to me.
Okay, I don't know. It's so good. I forgot it.
Okay. So we have apps.
Are you trying to?
Yeah. What that is that.
Should be. Right stuff, right? And see.
Okay, we need help still. Getting in, can everybody access this last server? And see that on your local host?
So that's me. Right. You're right. You're adding the.
They want to add it's valid, add like. And according to route, you can use on.
Maybe it's just like that we still create. No, I don't create that creating. You know, program. And then you can.
Okay.
Yeah, the, as you know,
Yeah. That API that. Yeah, you're the first. So you just do just thinking about it, then you create your own. This could be in long, because he doesn't have. Or you can need the song, you can need whatever you want. And then what you do is let it get all of your, yeah, he wants, I don't know, it could be filtered. Oh, no, that makes sense, yeah, because that's so, you're doing a straight, for example, in.
other fun things.
You don't define it, it's automatically, like, what's the answer, so it's like, yeah, it's
Fun.
right, so, let's check it. It's and then you have. It's like go back for your.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think someone already got the answer to this.
Professional headshot? That's what it's done.
He has one more.
Like, that's the thing, is like, like, you see how you want to get.
Workshops from Google, you know, how let's go to Google and literally sometimes. I thought you were to go that one time, just so bad, I didn't go. Or ready to.
You have it right. This is a- what is it? This is like a lady base.
Like, oh, yeah.
You have it. There is all.
But it's like your team.
Slowly,
Yeah.
right? That's why it's there.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna.
Oh, defense is big.
Yeah.
Oh, that works.
It's like,
No, that's yeah. It's not finished. Yes.
Oh, team one.
And then you have to read it.
And then you got, they were all the graphic files, so they have to go to every single time. I'm so first.
Wait, that's it, but you show me,
The.
right?
So you see. There is, it's for the pre-marathon and there's.
This is.
Oh, this could be a, we're gonna run it throughout the year. Whoever has most people points to get like.
That's fine. The one that is passing.
Should I just give them the answer?
See this?
Yeah, I can.
It's fun. Yeah, actually, draft is really good selling point. Yeah. We're gonna go, we're gonna explore that. I don't know how much.
So this one,
So we're saying, basically, has it being passed in the. So to have like numbers, well, we do numbers and.
Now what?
And then.
we can have one more challenge.
Okay.
But this is, I don't think, yeah, this one's like difficult.
Then
So I'll just do it.
I'll say.
So the point is that you're supposed to get code from this, and then you make a get request with that code.
So.
First, oh wait, first you do this, and then you run like an executable that I have in the
Okay,
repo, and that tells you if your thing is right, and if it's right, you get the code.
so they modify the JSON or no?
No, that's the second challenge. You have to make another endpoint, which,
I think it's.
so this returns,
Yeah, I think, and then it's all of them. All of them is against them. Yeah, right. And then, yeah, try, right? And then, this is so, you have in this whole, right? How it's it's a, and then you do a lot of it.
Okay.
And you'll use like the, like a oil.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm not really. But it's one of the ones.
Okay, we've got about 15 minutes left.
I literally cannot read this.
It says you are.
Yep, I'm trying to get this here. So, yep. So copy this.
I think it's just the string is outside of the thing, you know?
Cool. So make this F.
Did everybody get to the point to add the parameters? Try to do that? Did everybody get?
No, I don't think so.
I think we can just focus on that. I mean, this might be too long for us.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so can you show, do the walkthrough?
Yeah.
The challenge?
Mm-hmm. So the challenge was to create. Yeah. So the challenge was to create an endpoint that had a slash calculate route, and it took either an add or a sub string, and also two numbers after that. And if this part was add, then it would return the two numbers added together. And if it was a sub, then you just subtract them together. So if you go back to the browser, oh, let me restart.
Yeah, I think it's up every time.
Mm-hmm. Hmm?
I know how to use all of that with you on for like 20 years. Oh, yeah, I'll say that.
No, you have to do the function.
Oh yeah, add.
So add, yeah.
See, it adds to 30.
You got 30 there.
So that's-
Can you try some traction? Yeah.
Yeah.
Press, press.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's crazy. Wow.
And can you tell me a real life application of calling, what's an API that's pretty popular? Yeah, see. So like I'm just telling you guys advice for like in the hackathon, I think it'd be really cool if like you guys use multiple different APIs. I think some of our sponsors are gonna bring in their own API, teach you how to use them, walk through all this stuff. So you guys will have access to a lot of different things. And this is a good starting point because now you know exactly what the parameters mean, how to manipulate them, how to make different endpoints to call the APIs, how that ties in with local hosts and stuff like that, right? So, did you guys learn something? Yes. Nice. So then you wanna do, if you have a wrap up or anything, you have like 10 minutes left.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's actually, can I do one more thing?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
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 Oh, wait. So, bro. So change this. Git bash. Okay. So. Let's see. Oh, wait. What is bookmarks?
Well,
What's that mean? There's an observatory and you'll know there's no. Oh, that's anyways. What's like the whole like screen and like the theater or something?
Yeah.
And then you can see that.
I
there's
don't
stars.
equals
That's supposed to be like smoke for that. Like, you have a contract with the observatory? The observatory, yeah.
Oh, girl, that's right.
I'm kind of distracted because,
Yeah,
it will just be difficult just if I don't know people.
you did it, guys.
But later, like, I
Yay.
No, that one you like a special person too.
Yeah.
What's like your-
So explain what you did.
Yeah, so if we work through the entire like problem and then we ran like the test command, then we could get 41, which is the ID that gives you that specific YouTube video.
Okay.
But if you went ahead of me in the slides and then you put in like 42, you'd get like a random.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
So cool, thank you, Nathan
Thanks for
and
the
others
presentation.
for a great
Yeah, welcome to
presentation. I think we have some last minute questions before we conclude. Okay, cool, thank you guys.
Yeah.
You had a great overview of the guys. And
Pull up the,
Thanks.
yeah, can I see attendance real quick?
Yeah.
So, just in case, this is the last time we're doing it, if you didn't get your attendance in, make sure you do that. Last minute reminders.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, last minute reminder, the pre-hackathon event, registration closes tomorrow, it's next week, Friday, on October 4th, 1:05 p.m. at the Farmington Hills office. Make sure you're there, especially if you're a beginner, it's a great opportunity to network with professionals. And, also get some tips and tricks for the hackathon, and we're gonna have more workshops, so we started with Big Mom, right? Just the basic thing of your website or your app. And then we went to front-end development with React, right? Last week we did that. That was pretty cool. You could make your own portfolio. This week we learned how to use APIs inside that. So that's pretty cool, in tandem with our index.html, right? Next week, same time, location TBD, right?
Yeah.
Location TBD, we're gonna have one final workshop recovery for the hackathon. And it's gonna be cybersecurity awareness month, so it's gonna be hosted by yours truly. We're gonna do cybersecurity, all about cybersecurity and CTFs, because the hackathon will have a CTF running in tandem with building projects. Hopefully, we're still working on that. So, yeah, next week we'll have our last Bytes and Pieces, so thank you guys for attending this one. And then next Friday, so Thursday is the cybersecurity workshop, and Friday is the pre-hackathon event, and then the week after that, on October 12th and 13th, is the hackathon. So make sure you're registered. We are not accepting walk-ins. Okay, we just have a lot of interest this year, so make sure you're registered and have the app. Oh yeah, actually, so I'm gonna download that. Download the app. It should be in your emails. Check your emails from info@hackdearborn.com. We sent you big messages each week to remind you. Make sure you download the app. If you don't have the app, we're gonna send you back out. You can't attend the app.
You can also find out like the app store.
Yeah, it's called Hack Dearborn.
I welcome the app, so you have to download.
You have to download it. It's non-negotiable. And the Play Store, it's coming soon, hopefully next week. App Store has been approved and is out. So, yeah, that's it. Come on. Thank you for coming.
Your company.
And next
Good
week.
job.
Good
Thanks.
job, guys. Very
Thank you.
nice. I like the challenge at the end too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too. I saw it. I think, right?
No, if you actually like successfully.
Yeah, that's what I want. So you just log into that.
And then you should have access. But if it's right, it gives you found a number and that's 41. That's like one of 40. So if you go to the next slide and you choose 42, you get the error.
Yeah.
But if you actually solve it, you get 41.
Oh,
So-
that's cool.
It's around like 90. It's around like-
Yeah, I should probably stop sharing.
I was way too ambitious with this. That's what I mean.
But